This is In Case You Missed It, your national agriculture news recap for the week ending January 24, 2025. Newly inaugurated U.S. President Donald Trump did not impose tariffs on Canadian goods during his first days in office. Other than that, Canadians had precious few answers on what trade relations will look like with our next-door neighbors. Monday evening, Trump speculated that he might impose the promised 25% charge on February 1st. Other signs pointed to a more measured approach. Grain Growers of Canada said there's some evidence the threat of tariffs is already harming farmers. It cited a Manitoba farmer who wasn't able to access a premium on his oats after the program he sold into was paused following the election. On the livestock side, analyst Kevin Greer said cattle sales were steady to higher than usual ahead of Inauguration Day. Cattle feeders, however, are uncertain if contracts with major packers will be honored if tariffs are imposed. Either way, he said it's likely to bring lower prices. The might of the American dollar largely explains why the loonie sank below 70 cents US to start the year. That's what Farm Credit Canada economist Graham Crosby told folks at the Manitoba Ag Days Farm Show this week. The US dollar appears overvalued by 18.5%, the second highest it's been in 30 years. From October 1st to early January, the US dollar index climbed a staggering 9%. While there's been some weakness in the Canadian dollar, it's the strength of the greenback that's keeping it down. That strength is forecast to continue, said Crosby, which means the loonie isn't likely to break 70 cents anytime soon. Canadian dairy farmers continue to increase the level of butterfat in the milk they produce. That means a reduced surplus of lower value solids. The Canadian Dairy Commission reported that the average butterfat in raw milk increased from 4.23% to 4.3% in 2024. This reduced the surplus of solids that aren't fat by an estimated 120 million liters. It can be hard to find buyers for these solids because there's limited capacity to process them in Canada, and exports are severely limited by trade deals. Solids often end up in animal feed or may be discarded. In case you missed these and other stories, visit the Glacier Farm Media Network, news that matters to farmers across Canada.